Hi everyone, it's Lawrence here.
Hi, and Vanessa.
We've got a little bit of a community service announcement, being that it is 2019. So if for whatever reason you have any documentation with your CV and folio that has 2017 or earlier on it, you may want to consider updating it.
Yeah, and I think it's also a great idea to get in touch with anyone that you have sent it through before and say, here's a revised edition of it. Make sure you rename it as well because, in our case, when we have a lot of candidates that send through information, we may have 3, 4 or 5 different files. And it's great to have it updated with a year on it as well.
I think it's a really good opportunity to have a look over your CV and your folio and determine what information that's on that still needs to be on that, or can be condensed down or expanded upon, or
look prettier.
Yeah, what pieces of work are perhaps now too old and need to come out, perhaps have aged as well. It's a real good opportunity to look at what it is that you have that you're using to sell your services and ask the question, is this still doing the best work for me?
Yeah, a little bit of a refresh. And a top tip from me, if you have been working for a while and your CV is now going into 4 or 5 different pages, you can think about the first jobs that you have. Maybe you don't need that big description in there. Maybe it can just be one line item for the first 3 jobs that you have. You don't have to go into a whole lot of detail of what you did because you've superseded that anyway with the experience that you've had. And probably the most recent experience is the most important experience for you to secure that next role.
Yeah, I think it's really important to remember that most CVs generally only have a handful of seconds to convey what the person looking at it wants to see, which I know doesn't sound particularly fair when you put so much time and effort into it.
But it's true.
If it's a hiring manager who's working through hundreds of CVs, they don't have the time to sit there and really look at it in great detail. So, it's a really good opportunity to think about the layout of your CV. Is it allowing that vital information to pop off the page? And how many pages is it? 4 pages might be too much. Can you bring it down a little bit?
And also I think, if you are predominantly sending your CV through to recruiters or HR managers, sometimes we don't need a full explanation of what a graphic designer or an account manager does. We know what an account manager or graphic designer does. So maybe you can, to save some space on your CV, instead of explaining what that role is, it's what did you achieve in that role, because we all know what a graphic designer or account manager is. So we really want to see the results and what you played in that role.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because I've often said that when you have your CV, you might list what your duties were within the role, and that's great for qualifying if you're suitable for the role. But really, it's those achievements that are going to end up landing in that job.
And save space on your CV.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully you found this useful, but it is that time of year where it's 2019. I know
new year, new you, new CV.
Exactly, and
refresh.
2016 feels like so much 4 years ago, whatever it is. Yeah. So it really need to make sure that you're 3. Maths was never my strong point. Make sure that your information is as current as possible.
Yeah, and as I said, it's a great way to, if you haven't contacted people for a couple of years that may have your old CV, to actually get in touch with them again.
Yeah, exactly. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah.
And certainly if you are keen to send through your details to see if we have any opportunities, feel free to do so. You can find information about us on our website, www.creativerecruiters.com.au.
And we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Bye.
Bye.